Hey, what is going on, you guys? It is Gawa. Welcome back to yet another Magic the Gathering video. Today in this video, we're going to be going over my Light-Paws Emperor's Voice Commander deck list. But before we hop in the video, if you're new around here, like always, be sure to drop a sub and also to check out the Discord link down below. Discord is actually starting to pop off now, especially around Christmas time and stuff, and it's just very exciting. We're always in there up to no good and chatting. But yeah, also before I start, I want to say sorry for being absent for the last, I think it's been a week and a half or so. Like I was saying in my previous video, I did start a new job, and basically it's a very busy job during the holidays. So hopefully after the holidays and stuff, once that calms down, I'll be back into making this content and stuff. But other than that, I have some stuff on the way to make for videos, so you guys will see that in the future. But yeah, so we'll start off with the Light-Paws. If you guys don't know what Light-Paws is, she is a she's a 2/2 for 2, and she's whenever an aura enters a battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to the aura with different name than each aura you control. Put that card onto the battlefield attached to Light-Paws, Emperor Voice, then shuffle. This is a very foily card with like double lighting scenes. So, but yeah, that's the Kamigawa Showcase foil. So basically, before we even hop into the little deck list, I'll say this is a Light-Paws Staxy Enchantment beatdown deck pretty much. But yeah, all right, so let's hop into the lands. So the first, it includes 31 lands if I'm not mistaken. So the first part of it is all just going to be basic snow lands. Got these full art ones for Christmas, actually. Shout out to Adami for those. So we'll get into the utility lands now. So we do run Cavern of Souls in this, and a lot of people are going to be probably like, why do you run Cavern of Souls in this deck? Basically, I play with people who love to counter commanders, so basically, I just run Cavern of Souls to name Fox Advisor, so I can just have an uncounterable Light-Paws. Next, we have the absolute bread and butter of this deck, Serra Sanctum. So you're basically, there's about 31 auras in this deck, so you basically just tap to add white to your mana pool for each enchantment you control. Serra Sanctum, very expensive card. Reserve list, if I'm not mistaken. Insane card. Next, we have Urza Saga. It's just going to be the same thing, basically just where you can tap it, make an artifact if you want to, but you're basically there for the last ability where you're just going to search for an artifact card with mana cost 0 or 1, so your Soul Ring, all that jazz, you know, Mana Crypt. Next, we have Emiria, the Sky Ruin. So, enters the battlefield tap, but at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 7 or more planes, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's good just to get some of your like stacks pieces and stuff back that you need. Nixos, Shrine to Nyx, I can't recommend it enough in a monocolored deck. Basically, you're just going to tap, you're going to add 2, or you're going to take 2, generic, tap it, and you're going to add to your mana pool the amount of mana, which is the mana symbols that you have among permanents. Next, we have this one. This is a really funny one, and I just thoroughly enjoy this, but it comes into play tap. You put a storage counter on Fountain of Cho, and you can remove any number of storage counters from Fountain of Cho and add one white mana to your mana pool for each storage counter removed this way. And next we have the Kamigawa Channel lands. So we have a Ganjo, I think that's how you say it, Sea of the Empire. So basically you tap for a white or you discard, deal 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So yeah, that is the lands taken care of. Now let's hop into, I think it's the spells next. We don't run very many spells in this deck, I will say. It's only a 4 spell type deck. So we run Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare for basically creature removal. Then we run Teferi's Protection for creature protection from us, because I was looking into it. I was really thinking about putting Everybody Lives in here, but the more I looked at it, Teferi's Protection is just way better because it gives you, like, everything phases out, because someone could just hit you with a Toxic Deluge, even with Everybody Lives, and everything still goes through, which kind of sucks, but... And then we have just the classic Enlightened Tutor because, you know, you're searching your library for an artifact or enchantment, stuff that could possibly win you the game. So, yeah. So now let's get into, oh no, I just spoiled it. I spoiled it, no. Let's get into the creatures. So like I said, it's a very staxy type deck. So we have Archivist of Ogmoth. So you flash it in whenever an opponent searches their library, you gain 1 life. Tukalti, the Honor Guard. Creatures enter the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. Aethersworn. Each player who has played a non-artifact spell this turn can't play additional non-artifact spells. Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it. Archon. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn, and non-basic lands come in tapped. Creatures enter the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. Each player can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Flying. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. So it's a lot of those if you haven't noticed. Grand Abolisher. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifact, creatures, or enchantments. Draineth Magistrate. I'm so mad at myself that I brought myself to go down this path. I just played so many Stax players that I was like, screw it, I'm making it. And Draineth was like one of the first cards. So basically, you just can't cast your commanders. It's pretty much Mother, Mom, target creature you control gains protection from a color. Phyrexian Censor. Each player can cast more than 1 non-Phyrexian spell each turn. Esper Sentinel. Aven Mind Sensor. If an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of their library instead. I love this guy here, Loxodon Gatekeeper. Artifacts, creatures, and lands your opponent's control come into play tapped. Just a beautiful card. Edleon of Rhetoric. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Hero of Iraz. Basically, he's just gonna... Don't care about that second part. We're just giving him that because aura spells cost 1 colorless less. SRAM. Whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. And Walking Ballista. There is a combo with Walking Ballista that we'll get into after. I'm just going to put him there to the side so I remind myself when I come across it. But yeah, okay. Let's hop into the artifact portion of the deck. So we start off with a Cursed Totem. Activated abilities of creatures can't be activated. Next we have a Mana Crypt. We have the One Ring. Beautiful, beautiful One Ring. I recently got one and they're beautiful. Soul Ring, Sensei's Divining Top, Jeweled Lotus. We've got a Null Rod in here. Null Rod, dirty, dirty, dirty Null Rod. And we have the Graft Digger Cage, which basically creatures can't enter the battlefield from graveyards or libraries, and players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries. So it shuts down decks where, like, you know, they're on the hunt to basically... take stuff from your graveyard. Just noticed my phone is kind of shaking. Sorry about that if that was doing that the whole time. All right, and now let's get into the biggest portion of the deck, which is the enchantments. And I'm going to cut this in half, actually. So, basically, with the enchantments in this deck, there's some that will help you, and there's some that will basically just negatively affect your opponents. But, yeah. So first we have Guardian Mage Mark. You may play, anytime you play an instant flash chant creature, it gets +1/+1. Suppression Field. Activated abilities cost 2 colorless more to play unless they're mana abilities. Shield of Duty and Reason. Enchanted creature has protection from green and from blue. Basically, the way that I built this deck too is it has pretty much all the protections, and it can give you protections from creatures. So it's basically you build paws up as big as you can, and then you just swing out and no one can block you. Next we have Ethereal Armor. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. Next we have Spirit Link. So basically this one here is actually one of the few cards that can double up with Lifelink. So you can get double Lifelink from this if you want. I had to put this aside because that works with the Walking Ballista. All that glitters. Sentinel Mark gets +1/+2. Here is the Spirit Mantle there, where each enchanted creature gets +1/+1 as protection for creatures. Battle Mastery. Enchanted creature has double strike. Here is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It's Humility. So each creature loses all abilities and is a 1/1 creature. It's pretty good because, if you have protection from white with Light-Paws, it just won't affect you. So, I mean, it's pretty good. and Light of Promise. So this is basically the one here that I'm just going to put aside, and I'm going to pause real quick. So basically the combo is you will take Walking Ballista, equip it with Spirit Link, so something that will just give it life gain, and you'll equip it with Light of Promise. So Light of Promise reads, a granted creature has, whenever you gain life, put that many +1/+1 counters. So basically, you'll remove a +1/+1 counter from Walking Ballista, dealing 1 damage to any target. Spirit Link will trigger, giving you a life. You gain life. Light of Promise will trigger, giving you a +1/+1 counter. So you'll just infinitely net the 1 counter, so you can machine gun the table for 1 health, which is quite awesome. It's quite awesome. I haven't pulled it off in the game yet, but I mean, it seems like it would be just very dirty. Next, we have Rule of Law. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Stone Skin. Enchanted creature gets +0/+10. Next, we have Sage's Reverie. Enters battlefield, draw a card for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura you control that's attached to a creature. Next, we have Catelti's Rising Dawn. Enchanted creature has flying, lifelink, and protection from vampires, and it gets +X/+X, where X is the number of permanents you control that are spirits and/or enchantments. And if that card dies, it basically just transforms, so it's great. Rest in Peace. Enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Swiftfoot Reconfiguration. So this is basically just to enchant someone else's creature. Just make them permanent, lose all abilities. So Detainment Spell. Sigarda's Aid basically just allows you to cast your enchantments, your auras, and your equipment as though they had flash, and enters the battlefield. You just may auto attach them, which is, good enough. Lash Knife. If you control planes, you may tap an untapped creature you control instead of paying Lash Knife's mana cost. Enchant creature has first strike. Timely Ward. You may cast a spell as though it had flash if it targets a commander. Enchanted creature has indestructible. Mask of Law and Grace. Enchanted creature gains protection from black and from red. And Benevolent Blessing is the same thing as a flash enchanted creature. As Benevolent Blessing enters the battlefield, choose a color, and basically they have protection from that. So that's that stack there. And next we have Heliod's Punishment. It's 4 task counters, and enchanted creature can attack or block and lose all abilities. So basically, you just throw that on someone's stuff. Face of Divinity, that's another one, +2/+2, and it gets first strike and lifelink, so that could be what you do for Walking Ballista as well. Gauntlets of Light is really good too. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and has assigned combat damage equal to its toughness. So if you just seen Stone Skin, for example, you can make it a +0/+10. So I built it that way too if you just want to go a defensive Light-Paws and then just assign combat damage as their toughness. Greater Oromancy basically gives all your other enchantments Shroud. Darksteel Mutation makes a creature with base power, toughness 0/1, and has indestructible, so it's very hard to kill. Blind Obedience. We have Chalmane's Blessing, which is another color protection. Gift of Granite. You can flash it in, it gets +0/+2. Deafening Silence. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. Unquestioned Authority. You draw a card when it comes in and has protection from creatures. Trislopian Sight. Enchanted creature comes into play. Untap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. So that's pretty cool because, like, with this, I just kind of noticed this actually. When you're in combat, you swing out with Light-Paws. You basically, at your second main, would cast this, flash it, untap her, and then basically she would be able to block. Land tax. Daybreak Coronet. This one's honestly one of my favorite. 2-drop is so powerful. This enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has first strike, vigilance, and lifelink. Smothering Tithe and Hyena Umbra. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Sorry, like I said, that I've been gone for so long, and this was just kind of a random dropped video out of nowhere. But this is honestly one of my favorite decks that I've built recently. I put it off for so long because I thought it would be like so close to and play the same as Rog and Arden, but they play it completely different, which is really weird to me, but I can't complain because, again, like I said, it's a deck I've wanted to build for a while. But yeah, Like always, guys, if you're new around here, be sure to click the Discord link in the bio and join up on that. We're going to have some giveaways and stuff happening there soon. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for all the love and support lately. It's been absolutely overwhelming. I love you guys. Like I always say, thank you for changing my life for real. And remember, if it ain't Gawa Gang, it's no gang. I love y'all. Stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.